Jadon Sancho has effectively been suspended by Manchester United. This was going to be a quick United versus Brighton preview for this weekend's game, but with this statement coming out that Jadon Sancho has been put on a personal plan and will stay away from the first team, I felt I had to speak about that, and then we'll talk about the game at the weekend. Welcome back to Double A FC, where at the moment United are just a massive circus. I'm sure you agree. So for United being a circus and me being your ringleader, is that what they're called in the circus? Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it around. That would be massively appreciated. Right, okay, so we were getting ready for Brighton and this statement's come out about Jadon Sancho. A lot was going on about Sancho. Will he start the game? Has he done enough? Has he apologised? Will he get back into the first team, even on the bench or anything like that? And for me, I know my last video was on Sancho and this one is as well. It seems to be the theme. Get him gone. I've massively U-turned on this player. I think I've supported him. I've backed him. I've wanted him to succeed. You cannot leave a post up on Twitter for over a week and then take it down and think everything's okay. And then you're hearing about this statement obviously coming out. It looks like he won't be around the first team for the foreseeable future. How long that will be is yet to be said or leaked out to us, the fans. But you have to look at it in another way as well. And I think Erik Ten Hag is doing the best thing here for the team, for the club, and for himself as a manager. You need to back this manager. He is coming here and he is stopping this player power. And that's what we have needed as fans of Manchester United for the longest time. We've heard the rumours about all the leaks and how the players basically rule the roost at Manchester United, which has never happened before. And now it is rife in this club. This manager's coming in and he's stopping that. He did it with Ronaldo when he had, the fourth right to go against Erik Ten Hag. And Jadon Sancho looks like he's following suit in that as well. And Ten Hag's not standing for it, which is brilliant. And I think it's coming out from Laurie Whitwell, I've seen on Twitter or X, that apparently he may not be back in the first team until January. And if that is the case, Jadon Sancho is gone from this club, I think. I think it'll be a loan or a permanent transfer away from Manchester United in January if it's true that he doesn't feature in the first team again until then. And now you start to scratch your head and think maybe the situation is worse than what we first thought. A lot of people were thinking if he does apologise and gets back in line with the manager, that he'll be back in the first team. And we've seen further leaks, obviously. Apparently, Ten Hag and United have put him on a personal plan, getting him in an hour early for training. And as he went along with it for a little bit and then eventually went back into his old habits. So I think, personally, Ten Hag has exhausted every single avenue of getting this player on side and playing properly for Manchester United. And I'm sick to death of these players coming on large contracts, big money, and not doing it. And Sancho, for all the promise and all the talent, has failed. He's a flop. He's a 73, however much we paid, flop for Manchester United. Didn't do it in his first season, didn't do it in his second season, despite the manager giving him 2 and 3 months off, playing him in 4 positions, and really trying to show this player that he believes in him, even though it's not his signing, and he's not a player that he owes any loyalty to. He's tried his best, and Ten Hag can only do so much. Eventually, Sancho has to repay the faith, and he hasn't. And he's thrown it back in his face in the worst possible way. If he'd have kept his mouth shut and just accepted what the manager said on the Sunday after the Arsenal game, after what's happened with Anthony, he'd be back in the team and he'd be starting, and that's your chance to show that you can be a starter for Manchester United. But no, you threw your toys out the pram like a little petulant baby, and look at you now. You're nowhere near the first team, and you're probably heading out of the club. And for me, good riddance. I'm absolutely happy with that situation. We only want players that want to be here and want to fight for the badge and want to put effort in every single training session. You don't turn up to work and don't put effort in because your manager will rightly call you out. And that's what Ten Hag did to Jadon Sancho. And for me, Sancho has gone right against all the ethics of the club and what a professional footballer is. And Ten Hag has dealt with it in the perfect way for me. Banish him from the first team and let him sulk and see what that reaction brings. But if he is going to be out until January, like I say, I don't think he'll be back in the team. And he probably will be sold or loaned out with a view for a permanent move in the summer. And that's just the way it has to be. And we move on now to the Brighton game, a massive game again. You know, we think the Arsenal game was massive, and the defeat there, we thought 2 weeks away, we could lick our wounds and come back further and even stronger. And look what's happened. We've not been out of the news. If it's Sancho, if it's Anthony, if it's Maguire, you just can't keep Manchester United out of the news at the moment. And the circus is just forming and forming. And more stuff is coming out, more leaks, more criticism, and just more controversy that we just do not need at this moment in time. So a game of football is what we need now as fans. You know, take our eye and ear off all the news and off all the leaks that are coming out and just focus on the football, which is what we want. It's not going to be an easy game, is it? It's Brighton at home. The last team to beat us at Old Trafford. And I think they have our number. I think they are really, really good. Playing against us, De Zerbi seems to know how to play against Manchester United. The semi-final, they were very unlucky not to win that. Obviously, they beat us at their place and at Old Trafford, like I said, not too long ago. I think it's going to be a really tough game, and I think Manchester United, it's a must-win. It's a massive game. It's a must-win game for this Manchester United team. We've not looked good at all. People are trying to say we look good against Arsenal. I thought we were terrible. And people are saying we look like Burnley. We were playing counter-attacking football. And yes, I know it's Arsenal at the Emirates. We're not going to have the run of play. We're not going to be having most of the ball. We have to live off a lot of moments. But, you know, you're sugarcoating what was not a great performance for me. And, you know, if you're saying, well, we almost won because of an offside goal, should that be celebrated? Should that be something we should be happy about? No. And the fact they let the heads drop as soon as that goal was given against us, we lost our heads and they won, rightly, because United couldn't stay in the game and couldn't see the game out and therefore lost the 3 points, rightly so. So this game is absolutely massive. And now United have got a lot of questions in the team. You know, who starts on the right? A lot of calls for Palestri. Has played for Uruguay in the international break. Does that mean he gets a start? I personally don't think it does. I think he'll go for more, you could say, experienced players. I think he deserves a chance, though. I think, you know, the one player that deserves a chance in this team is Palestri. For me, he is our best winger. And by that, what I mean is he's the most direct. He's the most unselfish winger that we have. He doesn't look to cut in and shoot at every opportunity. He isn't looking out for himself. Like Garnacho, as much as I love him, and he's a great young player, much as Rashford does, who is frustrating in a lot of the things that he does in an attacking situation. And obviously, we speak about Anthony as well, but he's not going to be there, so there's no point really talking at the moment. Whereas Palestri wants to get to the byline, wants to put a cross into the box, and wants to create for other people, which Højlund will absolutely eat up. And I think working alongside probably Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think it would work really, really well. He's great at getting back and helping out defensively. And like I say, for me, he's our best winger in that he is a traditional winger and we don't have anyone other than him that can play that role. So I would love him to start. I just don't think he will. I think there's calls for Bruno as well, and I don't like Bruno on the right. I think it takes a lot of what he does great in the middle of the park away as well. And as the captain, he would probably play there, and he would, if he's asked, he will play there because that's what he does for the team, unlike some other players that we know. I personally don't see him playing there. I think the midfield, if we go, I'll start from the back, actually, and then we'll just go straight up to the team. So I think, obviously, Onana will be in goal. I think the back four will be Wan-Bissaka at right back, and then you're looking at the centre-backs. There's apparently an issue with Martinez. I just don't see Martinez going away to Argentina, not playing, but training and coming back whilst injured. I just don't see United being that naive to let a player do that. So I think it will be Lindelof and Martinez, and then Dalot at left back. And then midfield, I mean, it's called for Amrabat as well. Will he get a start? I personally don't see him getting thrown in. I think he'll be from the bench, if anything. McTominay's had an okay international break, and apparently he'll walk straight into our team. He'll be holding bench as well. I actually really do see it being Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno in that midfield as it was at Arsenal. I just don't think the manager will change that. And then up top, I think it'll be Rashford on the left, and then on the right, I actually think Garnacho will probably start, or it could be either or. It could be Rashford on the right instead of Garnacho, but I think it will be those two. And I think Højlund will start. I think Højlund has deserved that cameo against Arsenal was really intriguing and really promising in what we saw from him. So I think the manager has to back him now, has to give him that chance and to see what he can do. And I think he will start up top. And I think Palestrio, again, will be on the bench, unfortunately, and probably get a cameo if, Rashford or Garnacho aren't really doing it in the attacking sense in the game. And if we're chasing the game especially, he may get a go. But listen, I don't see anything other than those 11 players which I've mentioned. Brighton, though, look up and down. They had a really good game against Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle are as good as what people are making out this season for me. And I think, it's tough to go to the Amex, and they did what I expected them to do at the Amex. Really tough to play against. And they really, put Newcastle to the sword. And Ferguson, who is an unreal talent and looks like a really promising player, scoring a hat-trick. Apparently, he may miss the game or he's not 100%. I expect him to play. I just don't see him not missing that game. And he'll really put a shift in and worry our centre-backs, absolutely. De Zerbi's got this team playing really well. I know they lost to West Ham as well, so we have to be up for it, and it's a really important game at Old Trafford. The fans will be up for it, I know that for sure. It's going to be a tough one. I personally think it's a draw. I don't really go for score predictions. I just see a draw in this game. I think they may cancel each other out. There may be opportunities. I think both teams will possibly go for it. I just think the honours will be shared, but it needs to be a win for Manchester United. I just don't see it at the moment with the way we are playing and with the upheaval around the club and players being away. It's not like, there's been upheaval. There's been a week of upheaval at the club with players being still at Carrington and training. They've all been on international duty. So, it's really tough in a few days to bring everyone in and get that harmony nailed in again. You probably need 2 weeks of you being together and the manager saying, listen, it's us against them and we need to be a team. We need to be together and we need to show the mettle and the fight that we know we've got. I just don't see it being a game too soon for that. I know we've got the Champions League midweek as well. I just think it'll be a draw, and I think it might be entertaining. I just don't see Manchester United winning, unfortunately. But we have to take something from the game, move on to Bayern Munich as well in midweek, and then we've got Burnley the game after that. So it's really coming thick and fast now. But yeah, I think overall, Manchester United, we need to show up. We just can't allow to be placid and allow Brighton to bully us in that game. We have to be aggressive. We have to come with a plan. And we have to implement it from the get-go. We can't go 2 goals down against Nottingham Forest. If we go a goal down, I think we could be in serious trouble. If we go 2 down, I don't see us getting back in the game. But yeah, let me know what you think on that. It's Manchester United against Brighton this Saturday. I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it. Like the video. Share it with your friends as well, or football lovers, anyone. I don't care. Just share it with everyone. Get them to become a member of the team, the AAFC team, and subscribe to the channel as well. I'll be back for more football talk, and I'll definitely always will see you on the next one.